Well, this F-150 is rated at like 500 horsepower, and
Yeah.
I mean, between the two power sources, and it's rated at 24 miles per gallon.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so we'll see.
It's a lot better than I get pulling that 27. My fifth wheel's pretty heavy.
Well, I'm taking it tomorrow and have a bed liner sprayed in it.
Yeah.
I want to do it right. I mean, I'm going to do everything. You know, I'm going to doll it up, and want to put some kind of cover on the back. And
yeah.
But
yeah, I couldn't hardly do without a pickup.
So what do I do now to put my radios back in it? You know, I had to had my HF, my 7100 in my Avalanche, and
yeah,
I have to figure out antennas, and I've heard that aluminum body is causes some problems with.
Yeah.
As far as running your power, I don't know if they even still make F-150s with manual transmissions, but if they do, there's probably a grommet in your firewall where the clutch linkage would normally go, and that's usually a good place to run your power wiring, because you can usually just punch a hole in the existing grommet and not have to drill a hole.
Right. Well, the battery's over on the passenger side.
Well, they are, but you
just run it
from the passenger side back to the firewall and then across down back over to your radios. Just use big enough wires.
Yeah.
run, you know, two number. Honestly, what I would probably do is run 2 or 3 number 12s. And that way, if one of them breaks, you've still got some current carrying capacity.
I'm trying to think what it is I ran in the Avalanche. I mean, I had 30 amp running back into the cab, and I bought a roll of wire just for that. It was double strand, heavy insulated wire.
Probably number 8 or 10.
Yeah, I can't remember. I've still got the rest of the roll out there. It's been too long. I can't remember. But the battery is just really right in front. I mean, right in front of the firewall on the passenger side. It's not up at the grill. It's right there.
Oh, it's not up front like it is in mine. Okay.
No, it sits back.
Yeah. See, I have an 11, which is
great big battery.
The 11 was the first year for the 3.5 twin turbo. And, you know, they always say don't buy anything the first year it's made, and they were probably right.
Well,
they had a lot of problems with this engine because it's direct injection. So the injectors don't spray on the intake valves. The intake valves don't get any wash down. So what they did, and you'll probably find this is true on yours too, the later models, they actually put a 7th injector in the throttle body.
Okay.
So that when it's at idle or lower speeds, there is a little bit of gas going on hitting the intake valves and giving them a little bit of wash down. So.
Yeah, because I think
that's my understanding anyway.
I think this is the first year for this hybrid version. But
but it's probably still got the same issue because it's that 3.5 direct inject engine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
same engine. They've just added this hybrid unit actually between the engine and the transmission.
Right.
And we will see.
Well, I hope you like it. I mean, I'm happy with mine. I'm getting a little, you know, being that mine was in Ohio for a couple of years, and even though I had it rust proofed, I'm getting some rust behind the cab corners. And I'm debating on, do I fix that? Do I live with it? Or do I go trade the truck in on something right now because it's probably worth a crap load of money, more than it would have been 2 years ago, and go buy something else and drive it for a couple of years and then buy another truck later?
Well, they told me at Diffie that the guy that had this one, they actually paid him more for it than he paid for it when he bought from them, because he bought like 10 of them.
Yeah.
So he got a real good deal. And then, of course, now, you know, but like I say, everybody else is getting 3,000 to 10,000 over sticker. mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
Don,
did two things I've never done before. I bought this. Basically, it's insurance that I will never be upside down. You know, if this thing.
Okay. So you paid cash out for it.
Well, if this thing gets totaled, let's say a year from now, it gets totaled, and values have kind of normalized, and the insurance company says, "Oh, okay, this thing's worth X, but I still owe up here. I've got insurance that will cover me on that." And
okay.
you know, so I will never end up upside down. The worst case is I'll get enough out of it to pay off the loan. And the other thing I did is I got the extended warranty on it that covers everything. I mean, wear and tear.
My advice is, Sam, just don't total it.
Yeah. Well, in Oklahoma, that could just be a hailstorm.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or hitting a deer.
Yep.
Oh yeah, all that time I spent in eastern Kansas, I am surprised I did not hit a deer.
Well, I'm gonna knock on wood. I grew up in Kentucky, and
yeah,
I've never hit a deer.
I know
a few by inches, but
a few years ago, Don, we was going through Wichita in the daytime, and a big old buck, he must have been an 8-point buck, ran right across the interstate in front of us.
Oh yeah.
In the daytime.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have no doubt. I completely believe you.
I read the other day that this is in Wisconsin. Okay, not Wyoming, not Wisconsin. There are 19,000 deer vehicle collisions a year in Wisconsin.
I think Pennsylvania is about the same. There's a lot of deer in Pennsylvania too.
And out of that 19,000, there are like 5 fatalities and 500 hospitalizations.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is pretty small out of 19,000, but that's still 19,000 deer basically get hit.
Carl's got turkey in the road there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know what happened to my my deer picture. I had 2 or 3 deer pictures, and they seem to be missing.
Yeah. Well, now here's a quick deer story for you. We lived in Fairview Park, which is a adjacent west suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. So this is, inner ring suburb here. This is not like being in Oklahoma City, which covers, a third of the state. It's just being in town. We had deer. I wish I could find a picture of it, but somewhere I've got a picture of 4 does and an 8-point buck in my backyard.
Yeah. Well, I have them all the time here, but we kind of live out in the country.
I get a few here. I rarely see them, but I'll see their prints after a rain. They come in at night where I'm not really able to see out down there. But I live on a little lake, and they come down and drink and stuff. But I got all sorts of critters. I got geese and skunks and armadillos, and you just name it. They're all welcome at my place. It's their territory too,
Hey, we got
Lost your voice, Don.
Got an image from the fire station. I guess that's the fire station.
Yeah.
There we go.
So we're doing this live as well now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
There's Mark.
Mark's waving, but I can't hear him.
Maybe I could wave with less fingers.
They'll probably have it muted, which would be a good thing, because we would hear a lot of background noise if it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of the problem last week is they had a hot mic running. I think Mark Clayton was running a wireless lapel mic, which was fine, but it was picking up so much noise from the room.
Did you take that picture, Carl?
No.
What are you doing, Larry? Maybe he left.
Working on service monitor.
It's like you got a
card extender in there. Working on power supply, I take it.
Yep.
Oh, I found a lot of two-legged deer.
There you go. Oh,
you
yeah.
Oh dear. That looks like the fun to play with, but I wouldn't want to keep it around kind of deer.
Yeah. Probably kill me.
Well, I wouldn't be allowed to keep it if it followed me home. So
No, I wouldn't want it to follow me home. I'm not going to give it my address.
There you go. There we go. Hi, guys.
hey,
Hey, we're live now.
That's right. Look out. Look out.
I'll be right back.
I thought the batteries would run out, so it wouldn't talk anymore, but that wasn't right. I brought more reinforcements.
So what project you guys working on tonight, Mark?
Well, what we got going on here tonight is still a bunch of J-pole antennas. If you're making them out of 300 ohm twin lead, I don't know if you really call them poles. They have to be like J Czechs or J Germans, something like that. So we're building a bunch of those, it looks like. We're working on a radiodity, getting it programmed. Ken is over there working on something for an antenna. I'm not sure what he's doing. Ken and Mark. Oh, he's building a loop. And Lockett's showing up here looking for donuts. What do you think, Lockett?
oh,
Any donuts? Did you find some donuts? Yeah.
For when?
For now, you just came looking for donuts, right?
Yes.
Oh,
And Dave's doing something. What
Your turn.
is my turn? Yeah, that's what this group needs is sugar. Wow.
so I guess that you're at the
So
fire station?
what do you got? Are you building it? Or are you halfway building it?
hey, Mark.
Good.
You're building a roll up.
Yep. The J antenna.
So what are the rules there now, Mark? You have a limit of people, or
Well, we have a lot of limited people.
have to
However,
stay 6 feet from Bill Lockett, or any rules like that?
however, the rules are don't get your shots and don't give anybody the cooties.
Good.
So yeah, we're here. So you made it back into town, I guess.
Yeah. And there are no masks in Wyoming, period. They just don't exist.
That's because they
Wow,
only
it's
got
even
800,000 people in the whole state.
Well, that's true. And if half of them died, nobody'd miss them.
And they're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
I read the other day they're expecting that to be one of the 5 worst states as this Delta rolls through. Wyoming's one of the top 5 that's going to get hit.
Like right now, it's Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri's bad. Oklahoma's got one out of a family. Somebody had a family reunion that just knocked out the better part of the state.
So, Mark, you're at the fire station?
We are at the fire station.
Looks
We
familiar.
are, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 10, 11 folks. I don't know who else is here, but
See Lee and
Lee,
Ken.
Ken and
And Mark
Dave and Bill.
Clayton was
Bill's
there.
back there making sure we're doing it all right. Correct? Oh, he's got a question. That's not good. I shouldn't have made eye contact with Bill.
Do you get, like when those of us that operated from home on field day, we submit our deal. Do you have an access to how many points each of us has contributed or anything?
I don't know if it gives points. I know that it shows each person that has put their stuff in.
It just shows that we have, it doesn't even give a.
Number, nothing, then no, I don't.
Okay.
Nope.
So we trust that they will add those to the W5.
They report them together. So you'll see WG5T had 12 and somebody else had 78 and somebody else had 6.
What is it? What is it I'm looking for?
From the FRN, you need to go to the FCC site. Oh.
Trial.
Oh, well, like
Trial.
Hello. Who is she?
Good evening, Mike.
Trial.
Who is that?
Jerry left, I guess.
so. Oh, that's the trial. That's the audio thing. So who's got field day stories? Anybody got anything that they did? Sam probably didn't do anything. He didn't even think of us.
No, but I will tell you, we were up on the snowy range, 10,500 feet, and I convinced my wife I needed 5 minutes on 20 meters, and I thought I'd be able to talk to the world, and I couldn't find anybody. Of course, it was noon, but
Trial.
Okay. Well,
There's Mike. And there's Gary.
Sorry, I had to go out and do a cat inventory. That's a nightly thing around here.
you there, Mark?
Trial.
I am, and I'm hearing the trial.
Yeah. Is that what that is?
Somebody's got virtual cables up and running. Is that you, Ken? Do you have a virtual cable up and running?
Not me.
We're hearing the word trial about 15 seconds.
I'm not hearing that.
Trouble.
I'm not hearing that.
I'm just hearing this word.
Trial.
There it
I heard
is.
that, but I don't know what that was.
Just saying trial.
Is that kind of like test?
Trial.
Who is doing that?
Mike, you're muted.
Trial.
I hear that, Mark Klein, but I don't know what that is.
Trial.
Yeah, it's a visual or virtual cable trial package.
Trial.
Oh, it must be the free version that's gonna do that to annoy you till you buy the real one.
Yeah, it does. Well, watch and see whose thing lights up.
Mike, your sound card's not working. It's messed up in your computer.
Well, I'm leaving.
Yeah, of course, now we can hear him.
Yeah.
And that's better.
Well,
So it must have been Mike, huh?
I don't know. So did Mark showed us his new 2-meter 440 antenna last week. Said he was going to get it up in the air. Any news on that?
I don't know if he did. I don't see him. I hear him. There he is. Did you get your 2-meter 440 up and running?
He's on the other side of Lee.
He's complaining about rain.
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 We only had 5 or 6 inches.
Yeah.
You want like half hour?
He's at 8.08.
Took almost 3 days at my house to get that much.
Yeah, that's about what we got here. About 6 inches.
Yeah, I've got mushrooms and fungi growing around here that I've never even seen before.
Better than Seattle or Portland. They're 113 degrees up there.
Oh, amen. I'll take a duck pond in the backyard any day.
Yeah.
And we have had ducks in the
Check.
backyard.
1, 2, 3, check. No.
Friend of mine's son's in Portland. He said the restaurants are shutting down because they can't
Yeah.
keep the place cool and they
Yeah.
can't for the cooks. And
I have a cousin that lives in a suburb of Portland. Portland's a pretty cool town, but I imagine 100 degrees up there would kill them people. Everybody
Yeah.
don't have air conditioner up there, you know.
Yeah.
There's a little town in British Columbia, just north of the border, named Lytton, Lyton, I think is how it's spelled. And they got up to 122 today.
Wow.
It's an all-time record for
Yeah,
British
I
Columbia.
imagine.
I was going to,
Probably
it might
about-
be for Canada.
Yeah,
Probably.
the whole
Those people are metric. They don't even know what 122 is.
Right, exactly.
Those people probably, a lot of those people probably don't even have air conditioning.
no,
They don't.
most of
No.
They
them
just don't.
I mean,
No, my friend in Portland doesn't have air.
Microphone
You know.
to work.
I remember when I was a kid, of course, I was told this later because it was when I was a young kid, but my parents had, we lived in Canton, Ohio, which is about
trial,
an hour south of Cleveland, but 60 miles south of Cleveland. But we had friends that were from Purcell, Oklahoma.
trial,
Well, of course,
Wow.
they had air conditioning in Purcell, Oklahoma. They moved to Southern Ohio, and they were dying in the summer because they didn't have air conditioning.
yeah.
trial,
Yeah.
Someone's still got the trial thing going.
Yeah, it's back. It's Mike. Mike's back, and so's the trial. We can't hear you, Mike.
Is that better? No.
Now we
Yeah,
can hear
there you
you.
go.
Yeah, I can hear you,
Not
Mike.
audio.
I can hear you, Mike.
Mike and his mic. Not hearing that.
How's that? Better?
Back it a little harder, Mike.
Trial my.
Turn the gain up a little.
I bet he just updated Windows 10.
Go in there and turn all that sound crap off.
I'm just gonna listen.
No, we can hear you fine now.
I don't
Yeah,
have
we
anything to say.
We can
That
even
won't
watch
last.
TV.
I got my hex beam up on the roof this last weekend.
Hey, what hex beam did you get?
Same one you got, Carl.
KIO?
Yes.
How do you like it?
I like it.
Tell us how wonderful it is.
I got to get it up higher. It's at its trial height on a tripod on the lowest part of my roof. So it's about 12, 15 feet high. And it can improve with a little more height.
Yeah.
But I made lots of contacts on 20 and 15 on field day.
How many bands is it, Mike?
20, 15, 10, and 6.
Good.
So, and the rotor right now is the wind.
You got it freewheeling?
It's freewheeling right now. I'm going to dangle a couple of nylon ropes and
Tie it down.
it's pointed your way right now. I tried talking with Bill, WG5T, on, I guess, Sunday, but no joy on 15.
What'd you use for a choke?
I got the 4 chokes that he supplies.
The ferrites?
Yep.
No, it's too bad you can't put it on a big ass pole on the side of the house. Then you could use an Armstrong rotator.
Well,
Took you a second, but you got it.
we're getting there. I got a TV rotator up on a giant antenna up on the tower. I have to go fetch that, bring it down, see if it's going to work, and then somehow hook up a pulley and some friends and get it up on the tower.
Yeah, with my breaking the leg and realizing my mortality here earlier this year, I think that we're going to have to make some friends here in Indy and buy some beer and some pizza and get some antennas up.
Is there a club up there that you play with, Don?
Dabbled, yes. Need to dabble a little bit more and make some friends and etc.
Yeah, we won't be offended. You know, we understand you're up there all one.
Well, I got you guys, and I've got Wheat State Wireless. You know, y'all are all of my top dogs.
Yeah. You know how much beer it would take to get us up there, though, to work on your antenna?
Oh, to get you guys up here? Well, let's see.
For enough beer.
Yeah, but you guys can't get Yingling in Oklahoma.
I wonder how much I can get in my pickup.
Oh, I have a friend of mine who lives in Norman. He came up here with a freaking minivan. He was going to Cleveland for a job working on Nexrad. He came back. He shot me a picture. He had the whole back half of the minivan filled with various versions of Yingling.
You know, we kind of collect beer as we're camping. You know, we'll see a microbrewery or whatever and have a beer, and if we like it, we'll buy a 6-pack to bring home. And
actually, Gary, do you remember Ron Patterson from across?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Ron.
Okay.
Now, he's still down there lives south of Thunderbird.
Okay.
And he's still a scruffy old dude, and he's wonderful.
Well, you can get Yingling in Texas.
Oh, you can?
Yep, I've seen it.
Okay, it must be recent then.
Yeah. Somebody at the next table to us got one this week. Yep.
Yeah,
But it's closer to Ohio than it is to your house, I think.
Well, it's about the same distance. I think we put our heads together, and it's about 750 miles either way.
Yeah.
So pick your poison.
You know, somebody told me one time that Texas is like the biggest beer drinking state in the country. Of course, it's huge, but
Well, that makes sense. They get more people.
But all the companies want to sell. You know, they don't care if they sell anyplace else. Texas is the first state they want to get into if they're expanding.
Yeah, because if they can get into Texas, then they can pretty much get into anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a process, but
yeah, Gary. Yeah, that's right, Gary. You didn't we figure it was like within about 30-mile difference of you and me for going north?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same distance for us.
Yeah.
You're probably a little quicker because you're for the most part interstate all the way.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I 70 to St. Louis and 44 the rest of the way.
Yeah, my first 2.5, 3 hours of my trip is US 77 to get up to Interstate 37 to head to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
But we usually don't go that far. We just keep going straight up through Victoria and north, and it's about the same speed.
I'll bet it's a nicer drive too.
It's a much nicer drive not to be on the interstate. Yes, indeed.
Amen, brother.
Yep.
Are the butterflies bad now? Is this butterfly season? I remember driving down to Padre, and the butterflies would.
We have had quite a few butterflies coming through, and some of them are fabulous in color. It's interesting. We're on the west end of our development. Pretty much everything is what you would call desert Southwest or Mexico landscaping. So, you know, we've got more palm trees and sable palms, the small native Texas palms here. But over, just a couple of miles to the east in the town of Laguna Vista proper, they have a lot of deciduous trees, and they have far more wildlife in the city of Laguna Vista because they've got all of those deciduous trees down there. Lots and lots of birds and bees and butterflies. We get those too, but for the most part, we see grackles and herons and the red spoonbills. Those are fabulous. I mean, they're enormous birds, but they're hot pink from head to toe, and it's surprising the difference in flora and fauna in just a few miles. Really is.
Yep. Oh, look, there's a praying mantis.
Where?
On
Oh, I see a
Carl's.
cat.
Where? It's as big as your face.
It's on your camera.
It's on Carl's video.
Oh, there he is. Oh, I thought you were talking about Mark.
Oh, Carl.
He's not even listening to us.
I'm muted. You couldn't hear anything that I was saying.
Okay, what do you want from me?
Hey, have you loaded Windows 11 and crashed yet?
I have not crashed it yet, but it runs. It's really important. It's really critical. It's really cool. It has round corners.
A rounded window, huh?
Yeah, like about an 1/8 inch, rounded corners. That's the big thing I see the difference so far.
Poor thing.
So you're the guinea pig, huh?
I'm one of them. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm part of the insider build program, and
My condolences.
no, it's been pretty fun.
So how much hardware does it limit?
Mine's decent. Mine's fine. I don't think they understand the hardware requirements. And for somebody who's been through this like 400 times with Microsoft, you kind of ignore everything you see for until it goes out to production, because they don't have a clue what it needs for hardware yet. I'm sure they're going to put in a hook so that they lock out older stuff, but I'm guessing that it will be what I want is all the 32-bit stuff go away.
It will. I'm pretty sure it will in Windows 11, but how far back are they going to go on processors? Is it going to still work with an i5, or is it going to be i7?
They haven't figured it out.
Generation, or
I think from reading the stuff in the insider piece, what they're looking for are processors that have 99.8% reliability. So apparently there are some processors out there that aren't very reliable.
so you don't think it's going to work with a 386, huh?
I know, and I know my little blue guys, this little blue stream that we've used forever.
Blue screen of death.
The blue stream, I know I looked today on the insider, it will not, it says this computer will not work on 11. However, we're still early, and the page that told me it won't work said it was updated like 4 hours ago. And you just hurry up and wait with this kind of stuff.
A while back, Mark, you mentioned you was building I think you said it was an i9.
Yep.
Did you ever build that?
I have not built it. When I heard 11, I hit the brakes just to make sure that new processor would fit, and I guess it will. But
yeah,
9900 is what I spec'd out.
I'm sure it will work with it, because they're looking for the newer processors. So
I would guess, unless there's like what the wording was reliable. So if you get one of these hot shot processors that's not reliable, I bet you they'll dump it.
Yeah. Well, most of the Intel is, Intel and Microsoft, they all work together on that stuff.
Right.
So if it's an Intel processor, it'll work.
Right. But I don't, it seemed, it was not sluggish. It was not, a typical first build. It was snappy, and it looked like all the little, on the taskbar, all the icons were centered in the middle of the screen. It's like, okay, who cares? But
So does the interface look kind of like Windows 10?
I'm sorry, say again.
Does the interface look like Windows 10?
Yeah, it's very close. Let me go get it up. I'll go pull one up here for us. Go grab one.
I find this amusing. We're still using Windows 7 on a lot of our.
I've got Windows 10.
Peter Laws is still running 95.
Hey,
Hey,
there's nothing wrong with 95.
but it was DOS.
This
Bosses.
computer here is Windows 10, but most of my computers are Windows 7.
Mm.
And Windows 7 works fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't had a 10 problem in a long time.
No, me neither. Or 7 problem, as far as that
Yeah.
goes.
My biggest 10 problem is every time I turn it off, it wants to put another
Upgrade.
update on there.
Oh, it's been bad
Oh,
recently.
we have that problem with 7 too. But that's, because I work for Uncle, so they're always pushing security updates and whatever. But yeah,
So they still do updates on 7?
Yeah, I get them all the time.
they're still paying Microsoft to support it, and they're still pushing security updates like to the other various applications.
I don't power up my laptop very often, and every time I do, I gotta wait for these updates.
Yeah, that's the way it is with 10.
And that's a Windows 7 machine, so.
Yeah. But yeah, we had some desktops at work that were 7, and they got upgraded to 10, but they still only had 8 gig of memory in them.
They were slow.
Yeah.
So Mark, what's this little thing you've got sitting on the desk in front of you? No, he's
The
talking.
backpack.
No, that little monitor thing. I think it's what we're seeing on
Yeah.
Mark Klein.
What?
What's that little thing you're talking into there? It looks like a big square microphone. Or
That's the microscope. That's the,
Oh, yeah.
oh, okay.
I'm trying to hook it in so that Lee's
Electronic microscope.
solder class. And I said, we can hook this up and show it up on the big screen so that people can watch him solder.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Glad I thought of that.
Oh,
I do remember that, Ken. I remember you mentioning it.
already there. So if you're logged in, you should be able to go find
I've got a little microscope thing, but I've lost the stand for it. I got to find the holder. I just use it free-handed a lot, but
Yeah.
I got to find the little desk stand for it.
Yeah, you could probably make a stand for it.
Yeah, I could probably print one on my printer if I
Yeah.
got.
You could make one better than the factory one, I'm sure. Oh, I see an antenna from Carl. Hex beam.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what Mike got.
It's
That's just like one of his antennas.
No,
yeah, if
Take
that's
it into
no,
focus, Mike.
yeah,
I don't
probably
know how
won't
to,
focus on that.
Looks like a ladder.
it's too much light.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
burnout, overexposed.
Yep.
The typical thing.
Mike, you're overexposed.
Been tried to do that before. But it looks like snow on the roof there at Carl's, so I didn't know it snowed recently.
So half of the arms got iced down and the other ends flipped up. Is that what
It's
happened?
kind of weird, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, after that, that's not my antenna, although my antenna did exactly that same thing. It looked pretty much identical to that whenever whenever it was coated with an inch of ice. But after the ice melted, it just popped right back up. And well, I've got a picture of it.
Yikes.
I have a cup. That's a good idea.
Mm.
So did it return to normal or more or less normal? Wow.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
that's
after the ice storm.
after the ice storm, it popped back up, and that's how it looks. It came back to just exactly how it was when I put it up.
Wow.
It's a miracle.
Gary, is Laguna Vista, is that on the by Padre Island side?
Yeah.
You're
We,
south of Padre Island, is that where it is?
Yeah, I can walk about 100 yards down the road and look across the bay and see the hotels on South Padre Island.
Yeah.
Laguna Vista, our house is about the same latitude as the water tower on South Padre Island, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I do.
You know, that's about 3 miles from where you come off the bridge north.
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually, for reference, rather than the water tower, I use the Ace Hardware as a reference point.
You go over there very often?
I would use.
Whenever I need to go to Ace Hardware, that's where I go. It's a lot easier to get stuff over there than it is to try to get in and out of Brownsville or Harlingen.
So the spaceport won't cough up any hardware, huh?
No, they won't. They won't turn it over. Besides, if I want to get there, dang, it's like 35 miles from my house, because the only place you can get across is through Brownsville, and then you got to go back northeast. I mean, it's that way, 11 miles.
Yeah,
but I got to go southwest to Brownsville and then come back to the northeast.
Way around.
Yeah, I gotta go about 40 miles to make that 11 over there to the launch site. So, yeah,
I didn't realize that. I'll have to look at the map.
Yeah. So
how far is the Ace Hardware?
Let's see, from here to the Ace Hardware, it's about
50 minutes.
It's about 6 miles. Well, no, maybe more like 8. It's not bad. Time wise, it's about like getting to the east side of Norman from the west side of Norman. So it's not bad.
Oh, not when I lived there, it wasn't. Yeah, that was a lot longer than a 10-minute drive.
Especially if you go down Main Street.
Yeah,
I'm sure Main Street is worse now than it was then.
Yeah, it's only 6 lanes. So.
No way.
When we used to go to Padre Island,
I was friends
we stayed
last week,
Port
and we're like,
Isabel.
when did Norman get so busy?
You hear me, Gary?
I'm sorry, Ken, go ahead.
When we used to go down there, we stayed in Port Isabel a lot of times instead of putting the camper out on Padre Island.
You know, it's really been interesting. Of course, you know, this is the first summer that we've been here, and usually 2 out of the 3 times that we go back and forth to the island, there's a wreck on the bridge somewhere. And it's almost always on the westbound side with people coming off of the island. And, you know, when you start coming down,
they had too much fun out there, I guess.
Well, I don't know about that, but people just don't pay attention as they're coming down off of the high part of the bridge.
Yeah.
It's pretty steep as you're going to the stoplight there in Port Isabel, and people rear end each other there all the time. And honestly, we do not go to Port Isabel on Friday afternoon.
Yeah, too crowded.
Oh, well, I mean, the traffic's backed up all the way to Los Fresnos, almost all the way to the interstate. It's just nuts. So we just don't go.
And I like staying out of Norman on game day.
It's very much like Norman on a game day, except it's only 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice to be not working where you can choose when you go places? And
that's wonderful.
Isn't it? Let's not brag too much. There's still some working stiffs listening in here. But
I know.
But not for long.
Not listening in for very long.
You know, my advice: don't do it any longer than you have to. You know, if you retire at 50, get out at 50.
I retired at 60, and I'm 82 now, and I guarantee you, I've been busy and enjoyed every bit of it.
Yep.
But Gary, when you refer to the bridge, you talking about JFK Causeway or is that?
Oh, no, it's the causeway that from Port Isabel to South Padre Island.
Well,
I lived in Corpus for a while. Well, my residence was in Corpus. I lived out on Padre Island, but that's the only one I know of.
I don't remember the name of that causeway.
It's the Queen Isabella Bridge.
That's right. That's it.
Okay, that's not what
Remember
I'm
that
thinking
now.
of.
You're probably thinking of the one that goes over from
Corpus.
yeah, but it's not really Corpus. It's that little burg that's on the south end of Corpus.
Right.
Well, there's Oso Bay there, and I can't think of the name of that town. We built a bunch of apartments there overlooking Oso Bay. I can't think. It's been 40 years.
What are you doing, Klein?
Messing up my screen.
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny. A potato voice meter.
So I assume that's Windows 11 you're showing us.
It's an audio board is what he's got. Well,
I think he's trying to connect the.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, turned the wrong.
His,
That's my audio mixer
camera.
from home or from the office. That's just the device that does all the mixing. So if you get signals from the communications program or from a browser, you can mix it down and put it output, record it with the little cassette tape that's there.
That's quite the control panel there.
Yeah, you can squirt it out and do all the fun stuff that you want to do. But what I'm trying to do, and come on, kill.
Connect the microscope.
No, this is Windows 11. This is running 11, what you're seeing there.
Is this a software interface to a piece of hardware, Mark?
No, it's all software. It's all digital. There's
okay.
No hard. It's just whatever you have for incoming ports. I've got mic cables hooked up to it, or digital USB cable that comes in for extra audio. Or
and this is on a Windows 11 machine.
Yeah, this is on 11. This is just a standard. I've got this on everything.
Yeah, I understand.
It's just a mixer. So like when I get audio from a browser, I can mix it and then shoot it back out the Zoom session.
Got you.
You had batteries in there.
Roll Alt. So I'm trying to get that other screen. What I've got is that other screen jammed up with the remote control software. Come on, let me in.
How long does it take to get? So when we upload it, license upload required. The one I just
Okay, now you get uploaded.
That's what they're on the upload.
Yep. Come on. There we are. Correct. What you just got. Yeah.
So it's not them. Mark, I've been trying to find a 432 megahertz preamp to put up at the antenna on the moon bounce antenna.
Oh yeah.
Cannot find one in the US.
Really?
Yeah. I would like to have the SSB. That's the brand name. It's a German made. I've got one for 2 meters, and that thing works so nice. I was gonna try to get one for 432, and I can't get one. None of these HRO, nobody's got them.
Really?
They all say they can order them, and be here in about 2 or 3 months.
Huh.
They're probably in the same place as all the pickup trucks are, Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the trucks, it's
And
this
every-
chip.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I know, but
The
Yeah.
trucks are all
Okay.
sitting in Dearborn and places. They're waiting for a chip. It's crazy.
So this is the 11 screen that you're looking at. I'm sure you can, immediately see, oh, that's not very different. But the little rounded corners, see if you look up here at the browser, these little corners here are rounded.
Oh, how cute.
Oh.
That's
Isn't
so
that special?
Yeah,
I
that's,
don't know that, but my monitor is square cornered.
yeah, well,
that's how. See, this little crap like that, how Apple gets people to buy new iPhones.
exactly. And then this is the new little cutesy bar. Is it centered instead of like if you're like me and you're always looking for settings over here in the bottom left?
Yeah.
The settings are down here,
Well, I can't see the bottom left.
and then it looks different. So there's the big start.
Oh no, I gotta have my window icon in the bottom left. That's gonna bug me.
And then here's the power. So if you do that, there's your power off.
It's on the wrong side.
Yeah, man.
Why do
Get
they do
over it.
that crap?
They're a
Yeah,
bunch of
I got-
programmers
just-
that
just
are
put
getting
my
paid.
Put my window in my little Windows icon in the lower, my start icon in the lower left. The rest I don't really give a crap.
But they moved it already.
Um,
I'm sure somebody will figure a way to move it back.
Yeah.
your license, you're good. Good. I've never done PDFs. I guess PDFs good.
I'm sure there'll be a classic Windows version or something.
And then it will say, it should take an hour, so you'll probably get here in a little bit. Okay. But roll down, see if it says anything different.
I just take a Windows 7 interface. That would suit me.
Change to verify. You also get an email for it. So now hurry up and wait.
Yeah, Ken, I'm pretty used to that Windows 7 from
Yeah.
work, and yeah, it works fine for me.
There you go. You got it all done. Wait for your email. So I don't know. I really don't know much different on Windows 11 for looks and stuff.
I'm sure you can customize it anyway.
Yeah.
Make it look like you want to.
Yeah. Let's see. What does settings look like? That's
Somebody will come up with a Windows 7 skin for it.
oh yeah, because that's really important.
Well, it is us old farts that kind of like are set in our ways and shit.
Yeah.
If you learned a few things as you went along in life, then you wouldn't have to be so grumpy and old.
No, wait a second. Who said I was grumpy?
Oh,
You have not seen Grumpy Don in 15 years.
well, you're right. You've been gone how long?
No, I mean, you have not seen the grumpy version. You have not seen the grumpy version of Don in about 15 years.
Well, good.
Well, a couple of months ago, there was a very happy Don all the time. It was like,
Well, yeah, there was opiates involved there.
yeah.
I didn't used to be this grumpy, but you guys made me this way.
Okay, you're not even close to how bad I was.
Oh, there's system. Oh, look at that. That's sweet. It's got a picture. Oh my, we'll have to get rid of this.
Oh, yeah, that's not bad.
That's pretty.
Just all changed around.
Oh, look at this, Don. You can customize. See, you got different settings here. Oh my.
Yeah, probably more settings than I know what to do with.
See, you can put 3 windows in there like that. Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah, I'll get
I
one.
do that anyway. I just do it the hard way.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I hadn't thought about it. I hadn't seen that.
My problem is I'd get one of them settings turned on and forget how to turn it off.
Oh, don't know what you're talking about, man. Don't have a clue.
You mean that one you want to turn off before your wife comes in the room?
No. Boss mode. No, that's probably, let's see if that's still here. That down bottom right. No. Used to be, if you hit the bottom right corner, it would just blank, just go back to the desktop. So there's focus, there's system.
Got a night light.
Oh yeah, that's important. Oh, I don't have it on. Look at that. I'll turn it on there. You know, obviously the stuff that's changed is in the core. Everything I've seen says it's more like a small a fall update.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be right.
Yeah, I imagine that night light's probably just less blue.
No, yeah, it knocks
It
off.
just says warmer, which would be less blue.
At sunset, you can just see it pop over to red, and it's kind of cool. Yep, it's red. Time to go home. So this says Windows Insider Program. That's where it said on the other one.
Oh.
It says, here we go. There's the message I got before. Your PC does not meet the minimum hardware requirements. And oh, that's kind of cool. There may be issues.
And
oh, they don't say it won't run.
Yeah.
They say it may. Yeah, your mileage may vary. It's what Lee just said. Yeah, exactly.
Of course, the thing of it is right now, you don't know if the issue and the bugs is not in Windows 11 itself.
Right.
And she said she was 18.
Yeah, well, that's important.
How much resources you got on that thing?
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Have you got a program set up?
Yeah, Ed Fong.
Ed Fong?
Ed Fong is our speaker.
On video or?
No, he's walking here from California. No, he'll be on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, okay.
Nope. Ed Fong from Ed Fong's Antennas.
Yeah.
We'll be live here on the video. PC does not meet the minimum hardware requirements.
Click the learn more button below. Your PC may not meet.
Yeah, that goes to a website. Let me go look. And that's the one that I looked at earlier today, and it said it's just been updated. There we go. Update. I guess it was yesterday. Yeah, just updated noon. Oh, here's the hardware. There's the list right there. Processor 1 gigahertz or faster.
Oh, what a joke. No way. You better have about 1.5 gigs or 2.
These are minimums.
Yeah, bullshit.
4 gig RAM.
4 gig of RAM.
That's not enough.
Not even close.
64. That's not much different. Here's probably the difference is this the TPM version 2.
So I assume it's going to have a bunch more security crap in it.
DirectX video card.
Yeah, that's probably the other thing is you probably need a much more improved video card.
Did you say that your laptop was not working with the new
Yeah,
11?
the problem is if you got 4 gig of RAM and 1 gig of that RAM is shared with your video card, you're SOL.
But for 11, it's not.
If your motherboard has a video display on board, it's going to use part of that RAM.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Now, they say it won't run it, but it's running it. I mean, this is actually running a Windows 11 right now.
They didn't make any major changes.
Yeah.
But if you only got 4 gig of RAM in that thing?
No, I probably got 8.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
12. I don't know what's in there, but something.
So with Windows 11, how do you get to a system to see what your processor and RAM is?
Well, they say it may be. What they're saying is that they're probably a part of it's speed, and the part of it is the processor. Each processor has a reliability percentage, and these are their processors they support.
There's a bunch of NAs in there. It's on the AMD processors.
Yeah. And you know, these, I know from past events, you kind of take this as a grain of salt. That,
Yeah, it's too early to tell. Really.
yeah, this stuff's going to change. You know, maybe they haven't tested it on mine.
All the computers that I build, I always use a Intel processor.
Okay, so there's Intel. We'll go to the supported ones for 11. See, but they got Adams and Celerons that are supported.
That's pretty weak processors. It supports them Adams?
Yeah.
Golly. I've got a little netbook that's got an Atom processor in it. That thing's slow as a 7-year itch.
Yep. i5s, there's a ton of i5s. Xenons.
The Xenon is pretty fast.
Yeah, that's true. This one's the one I was, there it is. That's the one I was looking for, was i9900K.
Wow, yeah.
That's the one that I was talking about, Ken, that you'd asked about earlier. That was the processor I was looking at.
Yeah. Well, was you building that for somebody else or for yourself?
Well, I was doing it for another guy, but you know, it kind of looks like a nice box.
Yeah, I'm sure it'd be fast.
So I'm thinking I'll get, you know, maybe a volume discount if I get two. I need one for my desk to replace this machine.
Yeah.
So.
I told you my son Steven just built one, and his is
I don't know why mine.
His is a i5, but it's like a 10th generation, and that thing is faster than my i7.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what I'm running here. I think I'm running AMD something.
I can't remember what generation this i7 is. It's like a 7th generation.
Well, the problem is i5, i7, i9, i3 didn't really mean much anymore because they've polluted it up with, you can have a fast i3 and a slow i9. And
yeah, I can't believe how fast that i5 is that Steven just built up. But he's got a lot of RAM in there too.
Yeah, a lot of RAM always helps.
And he bought an Asus motherboard that has the Intel support chips and the Intel processor, and that's the way to go if you're going to build your own computer.
You're bailing, you're putting up the white flag.
Yeah. Party pooper.
He's trying to upload software on a Ubiquity.
Good luck.
Don't say that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, no, shoot, let me go back to that, darn it. This is an i3. But it's at 3.4 gig.
Yeah.
With 16 gig of RAM.
Yeah.
Which makes a big freaking difference.
So it's probably a pretty reasonable computer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to, you know, play war games on it or anything.
Yeah. I'm
definitely not global thermonuclear war, if anybody gets that joke.
I'm definitely not a gamer anymore. I think I grew out of that.
No, that was an old joke from the movie War Games. Phil, where are you? Where are you, Phil?
There's Phil.
There's Phil.
Hey, made it.
I got sidetracked. Big Jake.
Oh, Phil, Senate got distracted?
There's a shock.
Never.
John Wayne and Big Jake were on TV.
Well, I resemble that remark, so
It's quite a group there tonight.
Yeah. They're building some J-pole antennas out of 300 ohm twin lead.
A 300 ohm twin lead, or that stuff that Lee had?
I don't know. I thought he said it was 300 ohm twin lead, but it's kind of a, I don't know if you'd call it a J-pole. It's pretty flexible. Not much of a pole there.
Well, I remember MFJ used to make one that was really, really flexible out of 300 ohm twin lead. I think it was MFJ.
I have a J-pole that I made out of aluminum tubing years ago, and it still works good.
Yeah, but I bet it's not very flexible.
Not too flexible.
No. Well, the ones they were making at Field Day
Yeah.
had a little loop on the top, and they were made to be hung from something.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, we even got Gary tonight.
Yes, we do.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Well, I've been here off and on. How are you, Phil?
I am good. At least surviving so far.
I haven't heard much from Peter Laws here lately.
Oh, no.
Is he tied up or something?
Well, he came to Field Day, and we did the testing.
Yeah,
And he left right after the testing. He didn't hang around very long.
I seen on Discord where you got one person technician license.
Yeah, one guy came in. He got the test sheet. 5 minutes later, he brought it back up, and he aced the test.
Wow.
And then
The technician guy or something? Technical background?
Must either a technical background or he read the questions carefully. He studied for the test.
That's just crazy talk.
Obviously. Yeah, I mean, I went down, I don't remember who went down there. Several of us went down to a ham fest in North Texas, off I-35 somewhere. And I was an advanced, and I took the extra test blind. Just, hey, I'm here. Let's give it a couple of guys were just like, why don't you just give it a shot?
Yeah.
I guarantee I didn't do it in 5 minutes.
No.
But I did do it.
Well, I did the same thing. I had a mentor out at the FAA, a guy named Stan Bradley. And Stan was part of the FAA club. So he said, come in and take your general test. Okay, so I studied up for it and went in. And I was standing out in the hallway. He walked out there and he said, you need to come back in here. Oh, why? You need to take your extra. I haven't studied for the extra. I haven't even looked at it. He said, that's all right. Come in and take it anyway. And I didn't have a calculator or anything. That was a big mistake. But I got lucky.
Well, even if you hadn't passed it, it was still good to take it. That'll help you the next time you take it.
That's right. That's right.
And it didn't cost anything. And you was there, so might as well.
I was there. It didn't cost anything, and they were willing to wait on me while I took it.
Well, I'm glad you passed it. Got that over with. Now you don't have to worry about being out of band in the wrong part of the.
You're always in the band.
That's the biggest reason of all to get the extra class.
Yeah, I know.
I just did it for bragging rights,
Yeah. bragging rights.
No, it's
Kilobytes at the bottom end of each band.
Yeah.
Well, if you listen to Dave Caslin's, when he does his class, the very first session, man, you're a god when you're an extra. You've achieved God status.
No, I'm an old grumpy bastard, more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to talk me into taking mine after I passed my general, and I wouldn't fall for it. I don't take rejection well, Yeah.
But they don't tell you how bad you did. It's just a pass or a fail thing.
Yeah.
So you could tell yourself you only missed it by one.
But I passed it. I studied, but I passed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I am technically a VE, but I've never done a thingy. I've never done a test session, so need to get my buddy here. One of our local club guys talked me into being applying to be a VE, so we'll see how that goes.
Hello, Harold.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Hey, Harold. How's that motorcycle?
Hey, how? Oh, running good, baby.
Got water wings.
Yeah, I did pontoon today. Oh, there's Phil down at the bottom. Dr. Phil, I didn't see you.
Hey, Mr. Harold.
I didn't have my screen drawn up far enough. I didn't know you was down in the basement there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm down in the basement on yours, and I'm in the attic on mine.
There you go. But so y'all looking good.
So did you enjoy that roast beef?
Oh, it was delicious. It's been wonderful. Yes, it was wonderful.
Yeah, I heard you talking to somebody about that. Made me hungry all over.
Yeah, talking to Lee, he was Mobile and had roast beef and cauliflower and broccoli with the cheese and candied carrots and
oh my gosh.
Just wonderful. I hope everybody's eating.
Well, I'm hungry now.
Yeah, I just ate a bag of popcorn. Now you're talking to me about.
Yeah, we watched you eat most of it.
Well, I know. Starving.
I'll tell you what, I know it's not the be all end all of barbecue by any means, but I do love Van's Big Sand.
I'll be darned. Oh, I had a strange thing happen today. My Yaesu 400 fusion radio in the shack here, and we got a power blick or something, and it caused it to completely lose its memory. I had to go in and program the repeaters and stuff back on there manually.
That must be what happened to me.
Do you have a power flicker?
You mean your radio or personally there, Ken?
I think he's talking personal.
I think
because he beat me to it. He beat me to that comment.
The mind is a terrible thing.
Well, I'll tell you, after Indy 500 weekend, there were.
They building antennas. Oh, okay. I see him up there. Mark's busy doing something, but I guess they're building antennas or finish up the build or something. Anyway.
They've got a soldering class going and they're building antennas.
Yeah. I heard one of the new antennas on the air the other day. It was loud and clear, so that's great.
I have to laugh because when I was in the UK, they call it soldering.
Yeah.
Soldering.
Because soldering is something completely different.
Yes.
Like buggery.
They don't pronounce aluminum the same over there either.
Aluminium.
Oh yes, I'm quite good with aluminium. I actually find that amusing, but yeah, you got to be careful when you say soldering to make sure you put that L in there when you're over in the UK. Because they used to get those guys used to chuckle every time I would say it.
Yeah, great.
They
Gary, what are you looking at? You put tense on something up there. What are you looking at up there?
I'm tense or intense, one or the other.
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting on a message from one of my granddaughters.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Well,
one
I'm
of those
surprised
people.
my into the room here and Admiral.
Well, the granddaughter that I'm waiting on is smarter than all of us put together. So.
Oh, by all means, I believe that. Yeah.
Doesn't take much.
It does, yeah, same here.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd tune in and visit. I didn't get a chance to come. This is the first Elmer night since we've gotten back person to person again?
I think this is the second one, Harold.
Oh, second. Oh, okay. All right.
We did last week and this week.
Actually, is it second or third?
I think it just the
second, as far as I know.
But definitely much better tonight. They don't have a hot mic running and
yeah,
have to hear all the noise.
Before they had so much noise, we couldn't talk among ourselves here. And while we was going through that, Sam was in Colorado or somewhere having fun.
Mostly Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah, I mean, how are we going to plot against them if we can't talk behind their back?
Yeah.
Wonder if they can hear us.
Makes me want to go back to Wyoming, Sam.
Oh, I tell you what, it's South Dakota is beautiful too. I mean, there's a lot of this country has got so much beauty.
Rapid City is the name of that town I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Just south of Rapid City's where all that. That's a neat area there around Rapid City and south of there.
Yep. Yeah, Devil's Tower and
yeah, that's where we went when we took a day trip. We had our fifth wheel at an RV park south of Rapid City. And we took a day trip all the way into Wyoming to Devil's Tower. That was pretty interesting.
See, our goal was Yellowstone, and so we kind of skipped out there. But my theory is, I wanted to spend most of my time the furthest from home I could, because I can get back to South Dakota pretty quick.
Yeah.
Without not near as many miles. So
yeah,
we're definitely going back to that area. And
Yellowstone or South Dakota.
Well, I'm kind of done with Yellowstone. I hate to say it. I mean, it's a long way, and there's so many people. I might, if I had a September, I might go back out there.
Oh,
but
man.
no, I want to go back to South Dakota and explore the Black Hills more. It's,
we went all through that Custer State Park and
Black
Hills, and that was really neat out there.
We did Mount Rushmore, and like I say, we stopped in Deadwood and ate and went over to Sturgis. But, in case I never get back, I wanted to be able to tell all my biker buddies I've been to Sturgis. They won't know that there were no bikes there when I was there.
Yeah.
But,
But if you go to Yellowstone in the fall, it won't be so crowded.
What, Harold?
I drove my big Electroglide up there once. That was many years ago.
For the rally?
Yeah, up to Sturgis. That was 1988, I think, 88 or 89. But
was that during the rally?
Yeah.
Was it during the rally, Harold, or?
I'm sorry, Ken.
Was it during the bike rally?
Yeah. I drove my all the way from Virginia Beach all the way up there.
Wow.
I had a sore bottom.
Yeah, that's a long way.
I think the only Electroglide I've ever seen was when I was a cop in Kentucky. They had an Electroglide that they didn't even use anymore, but it'd been the police motorcycle.
Yeah.
Well, I came very close. I signed up for the police motorcycle division when they had 10 openings, and they bought 10 brand new Harley Davidsons. And I signed up, and they picked me. I went to the first day of class. And this was back before I was riding a lot. I had a little small S90 and a Honda CB 150, very small bike.
Yeah.
But I drove them, I thought maybe I was good enough. Well, the first thing I did, as soon as we got in, we were supposed to take off, go down this little course, turn around and come back. And I couldn't even do that. I went to put the thing in gear. I forgot that to give it enough gas or whatever, and I dumped that brand new Harley right there on the pavement, and I scratched up the handlebar and everything. And that sergeant looked at me and he said, "You're out of here." And I was gone. I went back to my Crown Victoria. I can handle it, but
Crown Vics are a little bit easier.
yeah, those were. If you wasn't used to it, those big Harleys were heavy, especially with all the police equipment added onto it.
Yeah,
also.
I'm not a. My wife will allow me to fly airplanes with no engines, aka gliders.
Yeah.
She won't let me get near a motorcycle.
She's a wise woman.
Marcus left us. I don't know. Well, guys, I'm gonna get back to the family. I just wanted to stop in for a visit, and
Harold, good to
all
see you, Harold.
wonderful faces
Good to see you,
out
Harold.
there.
It's good to see you.
You'll have a one.
Hey, Harold, are you in Norman or OKC Metro somewhere?
No, I'm in Norman, right here on the east side, right
Okay.
off Lindsay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I used to live out by T-Bird, so.
Yeah, I'm right here in town now. I did live out there at Thunderbird. I had 10 acres out there on the big home, but once the kids finished away, went to college and everything else, 4.5 bed or 5 bedrooms and 4 baths and
That's
4
a lot to
cars,
take care of.
10 acres of mowing. That was trying to work. So we sold. But anyway, moved into town.
Yeah. I miss I had 3 acres in Kansas when we moved here to Indianapolis, and I miss the space, but I don't miss the mowing.
No.
I've got just under an acre here, and it's just about right.
Yeah, I've got right at a little less than half an acre here.
I've got 2.5, and I don't want any more.
No.
Okay, and I thought you had more than that with all those antennas you got out there.
2.5. I could use some more for antennas, but not for mowing.
No, I don't even have a dipole antenna up anything. I've got a vertical out here to the side of me for 10 meters, and then I got the one big tower and one big beam up there. That's it. All right, guys. I'll check y'all later. Go see you.
Night, Harold.
And watch the guy down in the right-hand corner down there. He'll get you in trouble.
I've heard that before.
We're well aware of that.
I know. All right. Bye, guys.
Night. Well, looks like they have a pretty good crew there at the.
Yeah. So is that a vertical J or is that a fishing pole I see there?
Oh, I got to tell you, we were camped in Yellowstone, and this guy pulls up in his truck and he gets out and he says, "So what kind of fish you catching?" And I'm standing there by my avalanche, at the campsite, and I go, "Well, I haven't been fishing." He goes, "That's not a fishing pole." And my hamstick.
Your antenna, huh?
Yeah, it's my hamstick sticking up off the back of that. And anyway, he thought it was a fishing pole and leaned up there. And,
so where did you camp at in Yellowstone?
We were in one of the campsites in Yellowstone, Madison.
Yeah.
But you talk about a crowd. One morning we had to go into West Yellowstone to get some groceries.
Yeah.
So we pulled out of our campsite. It was 14 miles from the entrance of the campsite down to the gate.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about.
Traffic was backed up the entire way. 14 miles coming into the park.
If you go there in the fall, you get rid of, after school starts, you get rid of a lot of those tourists, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. It took us 3 hours to drive 15 miles, buy some groceries, and get back to our campsite. And
that's crazy.
But the good thing about camping in Yellowstone, if you get up and go, you can get to places before that crowd gets there. And then in the evenings, if you're patient, you wait and they all go home. And
the
they
thing
all
of it
leave.
is, we've camped. I can't remember the name of it. It's south out of the south gate south entrance, there's some kind of a ranch.
Yeah.
It's a private owned ranch, and we camped there before. And
yeah, it's in between the Tetons and
yes,
and Yellowstone there.
and
Yeah.
I went fly fishing. They've got some really neat fly fishing rivers in that property. But the problem is, if you're not in Yellowstone when you get up of a morning, it takes you too long to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if
Oh
you
yeah.
stay in Yellowstone, man, you're there and you're ready to go. We used to get up and take our lunch with us and be gone all day long. And we camped there at Yellowstone Lake. That's the one that had the full hookups. And
we were up at the other ham incident I had is we went up to Mammoth, which is the north entrance, and we went across into the city. Town was right across there to get some ice, and I'm coming out with this bag of ice, and this guy walks up to me. He goes, "Is that your rig right there?" And I thought, "Oh God, he hit my truck." You know, it's like, you know. And anyway, he saw my antenna, and he's actually the president of the ham club there in that little town, and we chatted. Well, is that the town right there
right
outside
at the
park?
Oh no, outside. I don't know.
Right up.
I don't know the name outside.
Yeah, right outside the gate. Anyway, so we talked for a while, and they had a Thursday night net. He really was wanting me to come down and get in. They have 35 members in this club, and have a repeater up there in the mountains. And anyway, he wanted me to get him, but we were leaving Thursday, so I didn't get to do that.
Yeah, Mammoth is where the herd of elk walks down the street.
Yeah, there were two huge ones laying out there by the old fort. I mean, under a tree, just it was. I honestly didn't realize elk got that big, but I mean
they're huge.
Yeah, but I'm gonna look that up.
We was at that lake there by just south of the south entrance of Yellowstone, and there was a female moose out there that had a baby, and this woman kept trying to get up there to take its picture, and I kept trying to tell that lady, I said, "This is a female moose with a baby. If I were you, I wouldn't get too close."
Yeah.
She didn't listen to me. She had a little point and shoot camera, and that moose charged her. And that woman like to have a heart attack, stumbling all over herself.
She's lucky, you know.
And she didn't get 10 feet before she fell down, and that moose quit chasing her, but sure gave her a thrill.
We were in the Smokies one time years ago, and there was this road was up here, and there was this grassy hillside that dropped off, and then a grassy area, and then woods, and there were these two baby bears down there in that grass, and people were going down that hill. It was about 30 feet down that hill with their little cameras to take pictures of these bears, and I was like, "There's a mama where there are babies.
Somewhere.
There is a mama,
and you're going to have to climb up that 30-foot cliff to get away from her."
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, I couldn't even stay and watch. We just shot a couple pictures of the road and left.
I know better than that.
Yeah, these people were idiots. Yeah. And you know, all it takes is one of those babies scream for help, and mama's coming. You know, and it was my cousin's husband was hiking one day and with his dog, and he ran into a full-grown bear, a mother bear, and they made a lot of noise, and she kind of ambled off down the path, and he thought everything's okay, and he kind of turned around, and there was a baby.
Yeah.
And that baby, there's a black bear, that baby ran up a tree and started to scream. Yeah. And here came mama. And he said, mama didn't run. She leapt. She like, boom, 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 3 big jumps and landed right. I mean, he said 6 feet from him on that last jump. And he said he just stared her down, and she just looked at him. He had his dog with him. And he said he thinks the bear was confused, didn't know what to do because there were 2 of them and only one of her. And so they started backing up, and he said, only thing is he had to go change his underwear.
Yeah, but, I was just going to go there.
He said, really all the mama was wanting to do is intimidate him.
Oh, yes.
But that lake there that's south of Yellowstone. But I can't remember if that's Onyx Lake or what that is. We was there. It was late in the evening. I was photographing osprey were coming down and getting some fish. But this guy was out there and paddling in a canoe. And in September, you see a lot of wildlife photographers up there. And so I knew this guy was a wildlife photographer. I could see his camera and tripod. He kind of pulled up on this little peninsula and set it up, and he was photographing moose, big old moose. It was in his thicket there. And he had his camera, a big 500 millimeter lens stuff setting up on a tripod, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 worth of camera stuff. And this moose charged him. And man, he left his stuff there and he run and jumped in that canoe. And, you know, just the force of him jumping in it, that thing went way out there and he lost his paddles. and he's paddling back toward where his camera's at. And it was getting dark. And we stayed there for the longest time watching him, wondering if he was ever going to get back and get his camera. And this moose was still there too, so he couldn't do too much. And we finally left. We had to go on back to
Jackson
the camp.
Lake.
Starting to get dark.
Look at the map here. I think that's Jackson Lake.
Jackson Lake. Yeah, that's it.
And the town where the guy was Gardner, Wyoming is where I think it's still Wyoming. But where the guy wanted me to do their net.
Out of the north gate.
Right across from Mammoth.
Yeah. Gardner.
Gardner. But you know, it was wonderful. Like I say, the only thing I would like to go back when there are fewer people. But you know, the other bad thing is they can't get employees. You know, they've got that, like we went in one of the stores. I think the one at Old Faithful.
Yeah.
And the shelves were just empty, and you know, I mean, just ravaged. And people lined up at the cash register, and I got up to the register to pay for something, and the guy's badge said manager, and I said, kind of crazy here, is it? He said, we don't have time to stop to restock the shelves. You know, we got to keep all the people I've got are running registers. You know, and he said they just can't get people to work. You know,
we stayed in that lodge there at Yellowstone one time, and that was the last time I wanted to stay there. That was the noisiest darn place.
They've got like 5 lodges over at Canyon. What is it? Canyon. Let me look on the map here. They've got like 5 lodges over at Canyon something. Canyon Village. And they've only got one open because they can't get people to, they can't get staff to do the rest. They've got the cottages open and one of the lodges open. And
maybe they need to pay a little more.
Well, you know, guy told me that over in Cody, Wyoming, they're paying waitresses $25 up plus tip.
They don't want to work.
Just to get them to work, you know.
Yeah, they don't want to work. They're getting too much
stimulus money.
Yes, thank you. That's putting it politely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everywhere we went, help wanted signs every window, you know. And,
I know a guy in Seattle was talking about a lot of all of them coffee shops up there shut down, can't get any help.
Oh, here in Indianapolis, we're a UPS hub, a FedEx hub, and of course we have a crap load of restaurants. And over on the west side of Indianapolis is not the super rich side, but it's still well off. It's a one of the nicer suburbs, and they can't find people to man. They can't find waitresses. They can't find wait staff.
Yeah.
UPS and FedEx always have signs out saying we need stockers, drivers, et cetera, et cetera. They're even, you know, a lot of the UPS stuff is they're subbing out almost like an Uber.
Yeah.
These people are coming in their personal cars and delivering packages.
I see that a lot on Prime people.
Yeah, and Prime too. Now I'm pretty close to all 3 depots, so generally I see their own branded trucks.
I get Prime stuff from the U.S. mail, from U-Haul.
Yeah.
I guess that someone's renting a U-Haul truck and delivering Prime packages with
Oh,
it.
yes, yes. Yeah, no, I mean, I had that happen when I was even when I was in Kansas. Yeah, we'd have somebody pull in a unmarked white truck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, am I expecting a package or is this guy coming to knock my house over?
Yeah. Well, our neighborhood out here, boy, on Facebook, you drive in here with an unmarked white truck, and they're all over it. White truck just entered the neighborhood. You know.
Well, I was kind of out in the sticks in Kansas, and I mean, my driveway was big enough that big white truck could turn around in my driveway. So, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny when they pull in and like whip around and do the pointed out the driveway thing, and then about 30 seconds later jump out the door with a package. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Well, I told my FedEx guy he was in a white truck because his regular truck broke down, so they just rented him a white van. And I said, man, you better get some magnetic something on the door or something, because they're going to start shooting here pretty soon, because they were all over Facebook. There was this white van driving around.
You out in rural Norman?
I'm sorry?
Where you at, Sam?
I'm out here south of Piedmont.
Oh, okay. So you're on the semi-sticks as well, like I used to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got a pretty good sized little subdivision out here now, but it's
yeah. Sound like
women are all over that Facebook.
Everybody looks out for everybody else.
Well, a little too much sometimes, but
Yeah, my neighbor calls me on the phone and tells me I got a package on the front porch. Keeping an eye on me.
No, I don't. I don't get that. But where I'm sitting right here, and which is also where I'm sitting, where I'm doing this gig from home, I see everything that goes. I see. I can't see to the street, but I can see anybody that comes up the driveway. So I'm kind of good.
Yeah. Well, I'm on a kind of little loop, but not much need for anybody to come past my house. About three people to go past my house.
You can't come past my house. I'm at the end of the road. Me and my neighbor Elliot, we're both at the end of the road. There's a little tiny circle that's probably 30 feet across. It's at the end of the road, and that's it. That's us. And there's nobody. There's actually 2 lots over on the other side that have never been built out, and I wonder if they ever will be.
So I've got a really good neighbor across the street. I don't have neighbors beside me, but I have a neighbor right across the street, and we're good.
That's
friends.
good. That's
he keeps
awesome.
a good eye on the house. But one time I put cameras in, and I was actually showing some people my cameras on my phone, and I pulled up my front door, and there was like 3 people standing at my front door, and I'm like, oh my gosh! So I dial my neighbor across the street, and he answers his phone. He goes, I see him, and he hung up.
As in, I see him and I've got my AR-15 pointed at him.
Yeah, turned out they were Jehovah's Witnesses or something, but yeah, he says,
or at least ready to go.
Yeah, but yeah, I said, okay, bye. So, yeah, it's good to have good neighbors. That's the most important thing.
Yes.
I like the solitude, but I also like to know if my house catches fire, I got someplace close I can run and use the phone.
It's kind of nice to be semi-country, isn't it?
Yeah. I got a buddy who lives out. I mean, literally at night, you cannot see a light. Yeah. And that's just a little, I mean, it's great for star watching.
No, that's how we were. That's how we were when we were in Kansas. The only lights were any lights that were on the houses.
If you're too far out, like Sam said, it's easy for someone to break into your house because there's nobody around to see them.
Yep.
So,
yeah, but I had plenty of lights on my house. So.
Semi-country is good.
And plenty of things to defend myself with.
And I'll tell you, Ken, the other thing is, an ambulance is 40 minutes away from his house.
Yeah.
To get to him, not to get him to a hospital, but to get to him. You know.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He's
See,
got the boondocks, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
From where we were, it was 15. So that's a lot better.
Trying to figure out what Peter Core's preaching about over there. He's been.
Oh, he's always interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta meet. I haven't met him in person, but I may have to do that one of these days.
Hey, Peter. He waved at us. Yeah, I'm gonna go next week. Now we're live. I want to go back down there.
I'd like to go, but pretty far from Shawnee, but it's a long ways from Piedmont too, and
Yeah, it's good.
What?
Takes me almost an hour to get down there. I mean, depending.
Take me about
Yeah.
a while to get down
Okay,
there.
you
Take
get
me
the
about
award.
15 to get down there.
Okay, Don, you get the award for longest travel. You know?
No, me and Gary are right about the same. Me and Gary, we figured it out. Depending on which route we take, we're within a few miles of each other.
Okay.
So
He just seems a lot closer. Oh, Texas is a big.
I know. Yeah, but it's a big ass state.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
you-
at the other end of Texas.
but
He's
Don's
yeah.
probably got more interstate. You got to go a long ways before you get to the.
Yeah,
interstate.
Gary's got a lot of highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you cross more state lines.
Well, yeah, I'd have to come
Yes.
from Indiana to Illinois to
Yeah, Missouri and
Missouri,
Arkansas,
and
whatever.
actually, do I? No, I don't hit Kansas.
But all of those just equal Texas.
Yeah, exactly, just to equal Texas. And then God, I got to either drive through Tulsa or around Tulsa.
Yeah.
I mean, through Oklahoma City, I can deal with that.
Yeah. Tulsa.
I have
Actually, what I usually do is I spend the extra money and I take the turnpike around the south side of Tulsa.
Yeah.
Because
I have to drive almost 500 miles to get to Dallas.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember we used to go down there.
So why would you want to do that?
Exactly.
I don't even want to drive.
yeah, unless somebody was paying you to go there.
I remember, Gary, we used to go down there between Christmas and New Year's, and we would get off at Waco, off of 35 at Waco, and go over and get on 77.
Yep.
And take it all the way to to
Port Isabel.
Port Isabel.
I mean, you can drive US 77 is 25 miles west of me.
Oh yeah, Victoria.
It goes to
would go-
Brandonville.
we would
I
go
get
to Victoria.
77 and I can drive 77 all the way to Norman.
Yeah, and we could make just about as good a time.
Yeah. Yep.
See,
You know, I've said this.
Definitely.
Sorry.
we stayed at Fulton, that little town of Fulton, a lot, and we went down there.
You know, years ago, like in the 90s, when I first moved to Oklahoma, we used to go to Dallas once a month, you know, because there were so many restaurants and there was so much more to do in Dallas. And just over the years, it's gotten to where we got so much to do here in Oklahoma City. I don't need to drive to Dallas anymore.
I don't need to go to Dallas.
You know?
You try pulling the fifth wheel through Dallas, you don't want to do that.
No, thanks. No, thanks.
The suckers won't let you change lanes.
Yeah. We do have some of our FAA regional folks that are at near DFW in Fort Worth. So I have been down there a couple of times.
They drive fast in Texas. I'll say that for them, Gary.
Yes, they do.
They drive fast.
Oh, you folks would be.
They don't know what 70 mile an hour is on the interstate.
Excuse me, what state, what city do I live in?
Indianapolis.
Yeah, and we drive like it.
Oh, really?
Oh, hell yes. Yeah. If you're not doing 50 and a 40, you're going too damn slow.
Well, that's the way it
I mean,
is.
really. I mean,
It's that way.
and no, you're not going to get pulled over for it either.
And I know I was coming into the south, coming into San Antonio from the south, and I was going about 80. and there was cars passing me. But coming into the city limits, there's a big sign there that says speed limit 70. Man, nobody slowed down. They're still going 80, 90 mile an hour right into town.
If you're not running 10 miles over the speed limit, people
Yeah.
are going to be running over you.
Yeah, they're gonna give you the finger.
Here too. Here in Indy too. I mean, surface streets going back and forth to work. I'm like, the speed limit's like 40, 45. These people are passing me doing at least 60, 65 in both directions. And you know, it's funny because I grew up in Ohio, because Ohio just has like the most horrible speed enforcement of all states, I think. But maybe New York, New Jersey. But yeah, and here it's like, if you're not causing a hazard, they don't care.
Well, I hate to say it, but back in Kentucky where I was a cop, we were kind of that way. You know, we were looking for the guy that was about to get somebody killed. You know, we weren't just out
Yeah,
to write,
I mean,
write
if
tickets, but,
if it's 50 and they're all doing 70, who cares?
yeah, I mean,
And they're all doing it safely.
and actually that's kind of what I remember they taught us in police academy is look for the guy going 50 when everybody else is going 70, because he's the one that's going to cause the wreck. You know,
Yeah.
Of course, there's not always anything.
Yeah, or the guy that's doing 90, either one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the guy that's on the edges. But
let's hope so. Glad you got a remedy. That was big.
in the world?
They got their fishing pole with a handy talkie on it or something.
Be on the net shortly. If I'm not there when you call me first, I'll hop in later. Case you saw the next day.
Kind of looks that way.
He must have one of them vertical J's on the walkie-talkie, on that handy talkie or something.
Yep, I think they're using. I think you're exactly right.
They had a small mobile there just a minute ago, tied onto that power supply. Mark, you're
What?
muted.
Sam, while you've been gone, I've been building some 432 megahertz Yagis. Had
really?
I built one before you left?
No, I don't think so.
I built 3 of them, or 4 of them now,
What?
and 3 different matches on them. The first one, I used the gamma match, and then I used the hairpin match. And the ones I'm building for 432 moon bounce, I'm using a folded dipole with a ballon, 41 ballon on that. And they're 20 element, 14-foot boom. I got a pair of them going. I'm going to stack them and use them for moon bounce.
Wow.
I don't have them built. I got one of them pretty much finished, and the matching network's built for both of them, but that's as far as I got. Still working on it. And I did the aluminum square tubing aluminum boom with 1/4-inch aluminum rods, and I'm brazing the aluminum to aluminum. So I'm brazing the elements onto the boom.
So where'd you find you were looking for aluminum, as I recall?
Yeah, I bought some at this local aluminum place here in Oklahoma City. It was about $80 worth of aluminum for each antenna.
So where's that?
Oh, it's that place on south of 240 and metal.
Oh, that metal. Yeah, okay.
Metal warehouse or something there. And they were pretty reasonable. And, you know, like I said, I've got about $80 for the boom and the elements per antenna. And I bought enough for 2 antennas. And it's that 6061 aluminum. And it's pretty hard to weld those 1/4-inch elements onto it, because that thing sucks the heat away. That 14-foot 1.5-inch square boom, sucks the heat away from my torch. But it takes me a little while to get it hot enough.
Did you use like a regular size LP torch to do that, or how'd you
I'm
do that?
using acetylene torch.
Oh,
Oxygen.
sorry. If I missed that, I apologize.
It's acetylene brazing torch. No, I didn't mention it today, but yeah.
Ken, are you going to track the moon manually, or are you going to do a electronic ASL rotor and track it automatically?
I've done 2 meter moon bounce before, and I had a homebrew elevation control. I have a rotor, digital readout rotor controller that I do the azimuth with, and I did a homebrew one for elevation. So once I get everything working, I might try to revamp that thing. But to start with, I'm going to put them low to the ground on a tripod and manually track the moon till I get everything working, and then I'll put them up in the air a little higher. Moon bounce antenna don't have to be very high because it's pointing up in the sky.
Right.
Not like your need to be.
And if you're using square tubing, you can look down through the tubing to aim at the moon.
Yeah, I had a camera on there before on my 2 meter setup. Couldn't use it very much, but I used it for calibration mostly because the moon's up there. A lot of times you can't see it, but you can still bounce a signal off of it even if you can't see it.
Yeah, just because it doesn't have the sun on the face doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah. Yep. Well, you can't see it when the sun is close to it. It's washed out sky. You can't see it when it's cloudy. So you can't always depend on manually pointing your antenna at it. You're going to have some way to track it. And computer programs will output the data, and that data that comes out of it is what I'll run into my homebrew elevation thing. And it would track it pretty good. When I first built that thing, I tried to track some satellites, and the satellites move really fast. Yep. And I was only updating my elevation, and I don't remember, too slow to track the satellites, but fast enough to track the moon. So I had to write another program to do that. And man, that elevation rotor was just clicking on and off, on and off, on and off to keep up with that satellite. But I didn't do that very long. It was more fun to bounce a signal off the moon. You got 500,000 mile round trip communication. It's hard to beat that.
Yep. Get the distance award there.
Yeah. That was on 2 meters. I got the bug to do something different. So I'm going to build the antennas and all the matching stuff and try to build as much of it as I can this time. Instead of buying, I was using the M squared store-bought M squared 2 meter. It was 33 foot boom, 17 elements, 4 of them stacked. It was a monster.
Had a little wind load too, didn't it?
Yeah. My neighbors think I'm nuts anyway, so what's one more big antenna?
Hey, as long as they think you're nuts, you're not going to surprise them.
I tell them that I've got a 60-foot vertical in the back part of my land that's made out of 4-inch diameter irrigation tubing. I tell them that's the only thing that keeps their house from getting struck by lightning, because it strikes that thing first.
Probably right.
Well, so do you guys do the ARRL insurance?
I don't. For lightning strikes, you mean?
Well, for anything, but lightning strikes probably the biggie.
My homeowner's insurance. I got hit by lightning a few years ago at about $7,000 worth of damage to my home computer system and TVs and dishwasher and all that stuff, and insurance, homeowners insurance paid off.
Really?
Most of it, and I didn't even have a special rider or anything. Matter of fact, they paid me more on the computers that was destroyed than they cost me to build. So I took the money and rebuilt 5 computers and come out a whole lot better than I was before.
Wow. Well, I've been studying that. My homeowners comes up here in about 2 weeks, so I've been getting bids. They just keep going up, and there's this thing called HO3 and HO5. Does that anyway? An HO3 policy covers only what it says it covers, and if it's something that doesn't specifically list, it doesn't cover it. An HO5 covers anything it doesn't list as an exemption.
Yeah.
And
so that's new to me.
Yeah, well, me too. And apparently, like when we had the ice storm, you know, a lot of people had water backing in under their roofs and coming into their houses. And with an HO3, if it's not specifically listed that it covers that, they don't cover it. It may cover your roof, but if it's water that seeps in under your roof, they don't cover it.
Cover for ice backup. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds
but
like
an HO5 will cover it unless it's exempted, unless it says we do not cover ice backup, you know.
Some insurance companies, they spend a lot of time trying to figure out a way to put the screws to us.
Yeah.
No, we did have ice backup at a house, and honestly, the roof was in pretty crap shape anyway. But we really actually did have some serious ice backup, and they gave us about $8 or $10 grand, and we spiraled that into about a $40 or $40,000 housing remodel.
Ooh.
So you had an ice dam and the water backed up underneath.
Yeah, it backed up about yay far up the roof, but
yeah,
the roof was crap anyway. It needed redone. We took the back of the house and we basically created 2 more rooms, of which were otherwise, attic rooms that were this tall. We took those and we blew them out and made real rooms out of them.
Yep.
So we actually added a whole full bathroom, and so the 40 grand was money well spent. Unfortunately, it didn't add to the value of the house.
I imagine real estate properties probably gone up pretty good. The price of lumber. Think what it cost you to build.
Oh yeah, well we're talking back 7 years ago, and we sold that house for we had that house. We've been in that house. That was outside of the one outside of Cleveland. We've been in there 13 years. I think we sold it for about 10 grand more than we paid for it after spending 40 for that remodel plus another 10, 20, 30 here and there.
My cousin that we went and visited in Idaho, her husband's a realtor, and they're thinking that this lumber thing is going to go away in about September, October. It's going to level back down.
Never going to go back like it was.
No, it never will.
I better sell the OSB pile of OSB I got in my garage then.
Yeah, you better get it out of there. So
yeah, I've got about like 14 sheets of 7/16 OSB in my garage, and I'm like, do I need to sit out there with an AR-15 to defend this shit or what?
Yep. I drove to Wichita and bought a bunch of 3/4 inch plywood. I could get it $20 cheaper up there than I could get it here.
Oh wow!
It wasn't too long ago. You could buy it for $20 a sheet.
Now, who did you get it from in Wichita?
Menards.
Oh, okay.
You probably got them up there where you are.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. I didn't realize Menards had made it to Wichita.
That's as close as they've come to here. I wish they'd build one in Oklahoma City.
Every
time I go to Wichita.
We were all ecstatic when we got one in Olathe.
Yeah, it's quite a.
I can go out of our housing development, and I go right, and I go to Lowe's. I go left. I go to Menards. Oddly enough, I do not have a close by Home Depot. My nearest Home Depot is a good 20, 30 minute drive.
Well, I'll tell you what, they had here. Home Depot had 3/4 inch plywood for $55 a sheet, and I got it for 31 up at Menards. And,
Well, if you need it, that's not a bad deal.
well, I bought more than I needed, but you know, you can always use.
Sell it to somebody else. Yeah, I remember that and I'm sure you do too. 7/16 OSB used to be $7.99 a sheet.
Yeah, it was cheap.
Not that long ago.
No. I don't know. It's
And gas prices are going to be going up too with 4th of July weekend coming up.
Well, yeah, I mean that's going to happen no matter who's in the. I won't discuss politics, but that's going to matter. Yeah, that's going to happen this time of year anyway.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny. We were coming out of Wyoming into the panhandle of Nebraska, and there was this big sign say, you know, last gas station in Wyoming. Buy your gas now, you know, at cheap Wyoming prices. We crossed into Nebraska and the gas dropped 50 cents.
Yeah.
First station we came to was 50 cents cheaper.
Hey, in the panhandle of Nebraska, there's that great big old outdoor sports thing. Did you know?
No.
That thing was really big, and we used to leave here early in the morning, and we'd drive all the way to there, pulling fifth wheel, and we'd spend the night in their parking lot.
Mm.
Then the next day we'd drive on to Yellowstone. Panhandle in Nebraska it's pretty not too populated area.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the western end of Kansas and western end of Oklahoma. And, you know, they're all pretty similar. But I'll just tell you, by the time we came back through there, I was ready to be back here. I mean, you know, ready to get home.
Yeah, that's the way it is when you go somewhere like that. You're all hyped up to go, and so when it times to come home, man, I'm ready to get home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even when we go when we go to England, my wife's English, so generally our vacations are we go to England, and we'll go for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and after about a week, we're like, all right, let's go home.
Yeah.
We've seen everybody we want to see. And and there's nothing we want to see. No, we don't really need to see a lot of scenery. We've seen it.
Yeah.
In the area we're going, so whatever.
So, what part of Idaho did you go to, Sam?
Just a little town called Driggs. It's right there in the southeast corner. Just you go over the pass from Jackson Hole and you're in Driggs, practically about 10 miles. But it's where my cousin lives. They have 10 acres out there, and they have, in the middle of winter, they've got 6 foot of snow pack.
Oh yeah.
There where she lives, and they've lived there forever. But
I have a cousin, it's also a woman that lives north of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. You know where Coeur d'Alene is, and man, it's nothing like. It's up in the panhandle of Idaho. They're probably about 50 miles from Canada. Man, they got snow 10 foot above their windows in the wintertime.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. And she retired from being a school bus driver in that weather. Can you imagine that?
No.
Wow.
But when you're in it all the time, it's like, it's just like my cousin. She's like going over that pass to Jackson Hole with all those 10-degree. She's like, so what? I mean, she did it like 6 years. She did it every day to go to work because she worked in Jackson Hole, or Jackson. But I don't know. It's it wears me out, those mountain roads, and I guess when you do it for a while, but when you're going through there for the first time, especially pulling a trailer and you're coming down this 10-degree grade and there's a curve, and you don't know how sharp that curve or
Yeah.
What's on the other side of that curve, you know? And this new truck of mine's got a hill assist. You push this button and it automatically downshifts for you and brakes and.
Oh, you talking about the new Ford?
Yeah. Yeah, because I haven't used it yet, but it's supposed to be pretty fancy. So, but well, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go.
Well, I need to go too.
Wife's up too. I'm gonna try to come down, Norman, next week. Can't tell if Mark Klein's awake or not.
I think somebody needs to call Phil and wake him up.
Well, that's possible too.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil.
He might be muted because he's muted because I can't hear him snoring.
Hey, Phil.
There he is.
Phil.
Bye, Phil.
I gotta go, guys.
Me too.
See ya.
Y'all take care. See you
I'm
next
gonna
week.
get out of here too. Y'all have a great night.
Okay.
Night night.
See y'all next time.
Hey, Mark, call Phil. Do you have Phil's number? Call him. Hello, Phil. Phil. Your lips are moving, but I can't hear you, Mark. Oh. Mark, unmute. Mark, unmute. Unmute. Phil. Good job, Phil. I'm not sure if he's back with us or not. Hey, Phil. Phil. Unmute, Phil. 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 Unmute. Phil. Phil.
Hello. I said it was sleep listening
You
to
had a pretty
Denny.
good nap going there for a while, Phil.
Yeah.
You about knocked the microphone out of the gimbal a couple of times.
I'm waiting on Denny to call my name and I went to sleep in the meantime. Hey, Mark, are you on?
He's not listening.
He's not. Well,
Nah.
He's sure not talking.
No, he's not talking to us. How you doing, Phil?
I'm doing good.
Good. Good.
So
Are you
far,
staying in the apartment or truck?
I've lost 60 pounds.
That's great. I think I found them. That's great, Phil. What are you doing to lose?
My sons are starving me to death.
Oh, so they're eating all the food.
They're eating all the food and they're preparing meals for me.
Okay.
And they got me on low salt and low sugar.
And they're probably doing portion control as well.
And portion control, yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that's great.
I spent all of the year 2020 eating DoorDash food from restaurants.
Okay.
2 or 3 meals a day. I just have food delivered in here. Now
Okay.
realizing it's loaded with salt.
Yeah.
And all that. And that was where all the respiratory failure and edema came from.
Okay.
So the doctor said, you got to get rid of the fluids. You got to get rid of the salt. He put me on a diuretic and it trying to get rid of all that now.
Okay.
Of course, field day didn't help any.
No, but if you know, okay, so my doctor put me on a diet about 5 or 6 years ago, and I lost quite a bit of weight. But her prescription for me was, she said, once a week, eat whatever you want, but just one time a week. And you know what? That was good enough. That was good enough. The rest of the time I was on, it was low carb, low calorie diet, and I didn't die, but I lost weight, and I really ought to get back on it again.
Yeah, it's coming on. I'm like you. I pig out usually on Saturdays when the gang goes over to Boomerang and has lunch at the Boomerang.
Yeah.
So I follow him over there and eat what I want and then try to behave the other days.
Well, Dr. Ballard described it this way, Phil. She said, if you eat that one meal a week where you eat whatever you want for how much you want, your body is going to figure out that you're really not trying to starve me to death. And if you go on one of those reduced calorie, reduced fat diets that's really, really strict, well, your metabolism shuts down and it doesn't burn nearly as much calories.
Well,
So
that makes sense.
So she said 1 day a week or one meal a week, just eat whatever you want. Keeps your metabolism from trying to think that you're killing him. So anyway.
Well, my metabolism caught up during field day because we had some good meals, as you can imagine.
Well, I always enjoyed breakfast at field day.
Well, this year David Grizzle treated us all to his breakfast, and we had the whole restaurant. We had the eggs and the bacon and the pancakes and the biscuits and gravy, and on and on and on and on. It was good.
Good deal. How was field day this year?
Field day was good. It was good for me because we had it there at Fire Station 7 that you're looking at.
Yeah.
And I was able to hobble in there with my little walker, and we were out of the rain, and the David Grizzle brought his emergency management trailer, and the CW boys set up in that. And then Galen Kicks brought the big, huge Moore emergency trailer, and the phone and digital set up in that.
Okay.
So they had comfortable operating positions, bathrooms, and all that. Stand by.
Okay.
Conrad, I can't talk to you right now. He should be on the Elmer night.
He should be.
So,
hey,
yeah, we probably had let's say I fed about 25 on Saturday night,
Okay.
which is about average. Of course, field day is not what it was when I first joined this club. We had a lot of XYLs that would bring food and big dishes of baked beans and all like that.
Yeah.
We don't have that much participation like that anymore. The food is pretty much what we cook from.
Yeah. Hey, I got to tell you that on Facebook, I communicate pretty regularly with Ramona Wetherill.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's on rare occasions that I'll have a back and forth with Rick, and I hardly never hear from Reese. If I want to talk to Reese, I got to pick up the phone and call him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but Reese's wife Michelle, I'll hear from her every once in a while on Facebook. But Mona and Rick, it's pretty regular with them. At least once or twice a week, I'll have a back and forth with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Rick since I worked with him at East Central in 1967.
Yeah.
He got a job at the maintenance in the college, and he and I worked together.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, we were in school together before that.
Yep.
Well, if you do see him, tell him I said hi.
I'll do it. Absolutely. Reese was 2 years older than I was. And I don't know what it was. It was, it may have been more church than anything else, but Reese and I really, really had a good late teen years and early 20 years. Yeah, we did. It was good. When he moved to Albuquerque, it was interesting. I've been out to see him out in Albuquerque several times, and Linda's met Reese and Michelle, so that's pretty good. But I don't hear from them nearly as much as I used to. But it's like pick up the phone, and it's like it's like we just talked to each other last week and just pick up where we left off. That's the way it ought to be.
Well, Facebook is good for that. Yep. I'm running into people that I haven't talked to since the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Hey, I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
All right. You need to go take a serious nap now before you go to bed.
Yeah, my cat will come in here and wake me up.
There you go.
So are you enjoying South Texas?
We are. It's kind of it's a learning curve. It's different. We're learning to deal with the heat. We bid it off and we put a pool in the backyard, and that was a great choice.
Yeah.
We're in the pool pretty often, and it's not hard to take care of. And honestly, I've gotten to the point where I have somebody that comes by once a week, and he makes sure that the pool is in balance. And it's a saline pool. It's got salt in it, so we don't have to put as much chlorine in it. But it doesn't get too dirty. The only thing I have to do is we have the Laguna Madre hermit crabs that are about this big. And pretty much every day I have to fish 3, 4, or 5 of them out of the pool because they get in and they can't get out.
Yeah. So, they think you're back in the ocean.
Yeah. But anyway, they're just little bitty guys, but they're a hermit crab.
Yeah.
And if they get a hold of you with that big pincher, you've been gotten hold of. I'm telling you. Anyway, we're having a good time enjoying it, but it's a little bit of a learning curve.
My daughter and my younger son are in San Antonio.
Okay.
And I think my daughter's looking at putting in a pool now. Just to get away from the summer heat.
Yeah, no, that's we had a pool in Norman and we enjoyed the heck of it, and we put one in here, and we don't regret the money spent at all.
Well,
we
great.
just don't. We're enjoying it. Hey, talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Take care.
Maybe see you next week.
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye.
Playing around with it right now is what I'm talking on right now. Don't really have a whole lot else, Denny, so I'll turn it back to you in the net. KK5IL. Hope you don't go very good. Glad you enjoyed the field day. Kind of a long night. And I enjoyed my brief time over there both days. And it was quite interesting and neat. And especially the fox running around with immediately behind a little brown white dog. Anyhow, thank you very much. Well, let's see if Miss Lucky made it back. It's 5MXA, Lucky.
Good evening, Elmer. Jenny and Annette, this is Lucky, crazy 5MXA at home. Get the staff and hopefully a better sounding radio.
It sounds great. Go ahead.
All right, good to know. Yeah, I got out there to Elmer night and got the shorten the mic stick. Turned out to be a little bit of a bent wire, and your 18. No, I didn't call time, but 85 TV, yeah, 85 TV was out there and filed down a paper clip so you can see that there's a little hook up this wire. So they actually have to make a special tool to help fit it. And I said that is now called a lucky paper clip. Anyway, glad to get all that fixed. I hope it's sounding better. And yeah, all the remodeling work here at the house is going on well. Some shower piled in today, and supposed to ground it tomorrow and fix that up by you. And that's about all I know. I was just dodging between raindrops, so I was looking back and
All righty, very good. So you got a lucky paper. Well, whatever works. Nice to have some ingenuity going on out there. But that's what the Elmer Night's all about. And thank you very much for being with us. How about KF5RYA? Are you still with us? Good evening, Mr. Denny. This is KF5RYA. Rick, all the way from the metropolis of Meeker. And haven't talked to you in a long while. Just things happening with the virus and things like that. But trying to get back in the swing of things. Finally retired. So now I thought I'd be able to do much stuff like this full time, and found time to work in the past because I stay busy all the time now. But we're getting into a groove, and hope to get back into everybody. Good to hear from you. WA6DKD, this is KF5RYA. All righty, well, thank you very much. And glad you're getting back in the swing of things, so to speak. Well, let's see if Mr. Tom's stuck with us this evening. KH6AAA. Tom, you still with us? Well, good evening, Denny, and everyone on the net. It's good to hear all your comments, your wise observations. Well, I wanted to comment on Field Day and congratulate WX5 MOR Galen, as well as Mark Klein, as the very successful organizers of the event, which was one of the best wins I've observed over the years. I also want to mention again Phil, KD5UGO, who's a master chef at turning out gourmet cuisine for dinners, lunches, breakfasts, and so forth. And finally, I'd like to mention W5RG, W5 Romeo Golf. That's Bob Gibson, who spent a good part of the night working CW contacts and gaining a lot of points as a CW operator for Field Day. And thanks for everybody who helped put up the equipment and take down and so forth. And that's about it from here tonight. Denny, thanks everybody. This is Tom, KH6
recheck, Benny, KD5UGO.
Oh, go right ahead, Dr. Phil.
Well, I sat here and went to sleep looking at the Zoom teleconference at Elmer night, and I woke up and realized that I'd missed my slot.
Sorry about that, but take your slot now.
Well, I really don't have a lot to talk about. I'm looking outside. The sky is dark, dark, dark gray, and it's raining again. The concrete is wet. So I guess it's going to be rainy again tonight. Lights are kind of blinking off and on. Did I understand you say somebody has their power out tonight? So hope they get that back soon. And maybe we can start drying out starting tomorrow. Anyway, that's all I have. So thanks for doing the net. And back to you, KD5UGO.
Okie dokie, very good. Yeah, that's what we need, more rain. But yeah, Peanut Terry's power was out, and also Rodney's power was out. And I'm sure there were some others in that neck of the woods that also lost theirs. So don't know what's going on. And I hate to mention it, but ours is still on. I hate to jinx anything. Anyhow, thank you very much. And again, is there any other late, new, or miss or check-ins? Just say howdy. Okay, howdy. W5HLG just left Elmer night. Oh, I hope you guys had power over there. Yeah, we stayed going. I think their generator probably cut in station 7. But we had a couple of instances where we were hearing the growling noises of the transformer. As long as the lights are on, I guess. Hope they're on at your house when you get there. Yeah, thank you very much for checking in with us. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been on generator power off and on the afternoon and early evening. So I don't know what I'll have when I get to the house. Thank you again, and howdy to everybody. W5HLG Mobile. Okie doke, Mr. Lee. Well, as long as the ice cream don't melt, you'll be fine. All righty, thank you much for being with us, and we'll see you all tomorrow sometime.